Oh, Garfield.
All right, I think we're recording.
Oh, hey, I'm Craig,
And I'm Holly.
and welcome to the pilot episode of our YouTube channel where we hope to share with you some of our upcoming adventures.
In this episode, we're going to talk a bit about our plans for our adventures in North America and show you around our van.
Stick around. Okay, so first, I guess to explain the big picture is we've been talking for about a year about maybe taking a year off and doing something different. We've been working in our jobs for about 20 years here in Ottawa. So we're taking a year off beginning in March 2024. And part one.
We're going to start the first 6 months of the year off living in the van around North America. And the last half, we're going to do around the world trip. We haven't completely planned or figured that one out exactly. So we're kicking things off with North America.
And we're feeling, I would say confident, but we're feeling relatively comfortable with the idea of camping. That's a long time to camp, but we've both grown up campers. You had an RV as a kid with your folks. We had a tent trailer. Holly and I have had a number of camping machines, well, a few over the last 20 years or so that we've been together. So we started out, we had a tent. We moved up, we slept in the hearse a few times. We had that for a couple of summers. Then we moved up to a Trillium in 1978 Trillium camper that we towed behind the Toyota. We had that for about 6 years and really enjoyed some of the upgrades we had with that, like the sink and the furnace. And then around 2020, we went to the RV show and started looking at used vans.
And then spring of 2020, right kind of shortly after the pandemic hit and everybody was shut down, we actually came across a used van, a Road Trek, for sale not too far from Ottawa. So we headed out to have a look at it and both just loved it immediately. And we've had that since June 2020. So we've done 4 seasons. So we're feeling pretty confident about how it works and how we're going to get on in it for a few months. It's a Road Trek Simplicity on a Dodge chassis. As you can see, it's a nice short size. It's about 20 feet, a little bit shorter. You'll see inside, it's got everything we need. So I think that was the biggest upgrade, was being totally self-contained. Has freshwater tank, has the black and gray tank, so bathroom with full running water, hot water tank. The bathroom actually has a shower as well as the toilet and sink. You've got a big fridge. You've got the bed in the back, which it does fold up into a full 4-person dinette. A little bit of room for food storage and your personal effects. So those are kind of the big highlights of the van. And it's fairly simple, but everything is fairly new. Furnace as well. And nice to have kind of the upgrade from the 1970s technology.
And then because it was the base model, it came, a lot of vans now come with solar already installed on the roof. Ours didn't. So that was one of the upgrades we did this spring, is we put 300 watts of solar panels on the roof. We got that figured out ourselves. So now we can boondock and stay unplugged for 3 or 4 nights, and the fridge will still run. Everything stays powered up. As well, we put some nice screens in it. We took it to Montreal and had Rolef put in custom screens on the side and on the back. And something that's not on it right now, but that we'll hook on for the big trip, is a bike box that we picked up that's a hitch mount. So we do a lot of mountain biking, and so this will let us tuck our mountain bikes, tuck them away inside the bike box as we hit the road.
This is the general map and route that we're going to take in the van. We're going to start in Ottawa and head south all the way to North Carolina, Tennessee area. That should get us far enough south where we can dewinterize in March. We're going to spend most of the time in the southwest of the United States. That's the farthest away from us, so the hardest to get back to. This is still very flexible. We could change this. It's just a general kind of idea of our routes, with some bookings in the national parks that we had to book in advance.
So if we zoom in a bit on the map, our very first stop after we leave Ottawa, it'll probably take us about 2 days to get there, is Bristol, Tennessee, where we're going to hit the spring NASCAR race. I'm excited for that one. We'll probably pass through Asheville, North Carolina, and then definitely stopping at the Dolly Parton theme park, Dollywood, on through Nashville for a couple of nights, check out some of the music scene and the museums there.
I have to stop in Memphis to see Graceland. I've been an Elvis fan since I was about 5 years old, so I'm excited for that as well. And then our first big mountain bike stop will be in Arkansas, in Bentonville, where one of the Walmart family members happens to be into mountain biking and has built hundreds of miles of trails, a world class destination. So we're excited to stop there for a few days. Then after Bentonville, we're going to head straight south towards the Texas coast, down through Louisiana, hopefully tour some plantations on the way, maybe see some alligators on the bayou and do a tour of some sort there. If it's not too out of the way, I'd like to stop to the Funeral Museum on the northern outskirts of Houston, and maybe then hit a bit of the coast between Galveston and Corpus Christi down in Texas. Up through Austin is the plan, and then the first thing that we have actually booked for national parks is Big Bend National Park. That's in late April. And I've made a little legend here. When you see a beaver on the map, that is something we have actually got booked at this point for specific dates. After a few nights in Big Bend, we're going to head up through New Mexico. Will we be abducted by UFOs? The best way to find out is to hit like and subscribe on our channel. You can bet that we will post updates if that happens and a detailed accounting of our abduction. Then, as we leave New Mexico, this brings us up to Moab, another big mountain bike destination where we'll hang out for about a week. We're booked there. And that brings us into some of the big national parks that we're excited to see. A whole string of them here: Arches, Canyonlands. We've got camping booked at Capitol Reef, Bryce, camping at Zion for a few nights. Then we'll come down around to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. We're booked there for a couple of nights. And probably a little bit further south down to Sedona to check that out for a few days before we head west. And we are booked in Las Vegas. This will be a change of pace. We're booked at a campsite there, a pretty nice resort about 2 miles from the Las Vegas Strip. We'll stay there for 2 or 3 nights before we head further west into California. So we've booked at Sequoia National Forest, which is right next to Sequoia National Park, and then on out to Plaskett Creek on the coast. And that'll be right around mid-June that we'll get there. So after this, the plan is a lot more fluid. We haven't really booked. Will we get to Yosemite? That booking doesn't open until February, so we're hoping to get in there. And then as we head north through California, we've got some other mountain bike destinations. We've got wine country. This is prime territory for seeing Sasquatches. So again, will we see a Sasquatch? If we do, and especially if we catch it on video, hit the subscribe button. You'll be the first to see it right here on this channel.
So this leaves us with about 2 months to get back to Ottawa. We're going to continue north back into Canada, into BC, across Canada, stopping in Manitoba to visit some family, then planning to be back in Ottawa roughly around September 1st. And that's the trip.
Okay, that about does it for our pilot episode here. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions about that route or things that we should really stop and see, we'd love to read that in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks.